Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are jumping right into the deep end of enterprise security, specifically where cutting-edge AI meets some pretty tough regulatory hurdles.
That's exactly it. That's the mission
Yeah.
today. Look, if you're running a significant operation in 2025, you've got these two big things you absolutely have to nail.
Okay.
First, you need smart tools, tools that deter threats, give you real security intelligence. Second, you've got to meet incredibly strict compliance rules.
Yeah.
We're talking NDAA, TA rules about where your hardware comes from, plus all the growing data privacy stuff.
Right, a real tightrope walk.
Totally. So we're looking at, well, the top 5 solutions out there that claim they can do both. Give you the security smarts and keep you compliant.
And the game changer here seems to be this physical AI. We're way beyond basic motion alerts now, aren't we?
Well, absolutely. This is AI that, actively watches video, flags when policies aren't followed, even runs automated compliance checks. It's incredibly powerful.
But that power, that's where the complexity comes in, legally, ethically.
Precisely. So how do big companies actually use this tech without, say, getting stuck with non-compliant gear or just drowning in data governance paperwork?
Okay, so how are we breaking this down?
We've sort of grouped the market into 3 main ways of thinking about it, 3 core approaches. Let's kick off with the one that really focuses on bringing together specialized high-performance pieces.
All right, sounds good. Let's unpack that integration model first. You mentioned Avigilon working with Axis Communications.
Yeah, exactly. This pairing is basically about taking best-in-class hardware access cameras and layering this really smart cloud-native AI brain from Avigilon on top.
So they're not trying to build their own cameras.
No, and that's key. They avoid that whole proprietary hardware trap. Avigilon does the AI, the cloud platform, but works with Axis, who are, arguably the gold standard for cameras. This lets organizations pick the best tool for each part of the job.
And Axis hardware. It's known for being good, but what does something like, say, 40x optical zoom or a 360 view really mean in practice? Is it just bragging rights?
Well, it sounds like specs, right. But the so what is all about total cost of ownership, TCO, that massive zoom. It means you need way fewer cameras to cover the same area. Think a big parking lot or a long perimeter fence. Instead of maybe 5, 6 cameras, one super high-res, long-range access camera might do the job. So right away, you're cutting down on hardware costs, installation time, licenses, even ongoing maintenance. It adds up fast.
That makes sense. Fewer devices, less complexity overall. So the hardware's great, reduces cost. Then Avigilon's AI comes in. You mentioned speed, magic search.
Yeah, magic search is where it gets really powerful for investigations. Forget scrubbing through hours, days of footage. You just search, show me all clips with a blue car near the back entrance between 2 and 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Or find anyone not wearing a safety vest in this zone.
Instantly.
Pretty much instantly. Find the object, the behavior, the event you need. It actually proved itself in that Layton, Utah bomb threat situation
Oh,
recently.
I heard about that.
Yeah, even though it turned out to be a hoax, Magic Search let investigators find the relevant footage incredibly quickly, filter it, review it, and speed up identifying the person involved. In a real crisis, that speed is critical.
And it's not just for emergencies, right? You mentioned compliance checks, AI inspector.
Right. Think about safety compliance, making sure everyone's wearing their PPE, hard hats, vests, whatever. Traditionally, that meant a supervisor walking around checking multiple times a day.
Which is time-consuming, and let's be honest, probably not always done perfectly.
Exactly. AI Inspector automates that.
Yeah.
It flags violations, missing hard hat here, no safety glasses there. The AI handles the routine stuff 24/7, no breaks, no distractions. Humans can then focus on the trickier, higher-risk issues.
And crucially, for government or defense contractors, this setup ticks the compliance boxes.
Big time. It's fully cloud native, so no need for those vulnerable NVRs or DVRs sitting in a closet somewhere. And critically, all the parts, the Axis cameras, the Avigilon platform, are confirmed NDAA and TAA compliant. That's non-negotiable for many organizations.
Okay, one more thing on this model. Live intervention. That sounds proactive.
It is. This closes the loop. The AI spots something, maybe a trespasser trying to climb a fence late at night. It alerts security staff immediately.
And then?
They can instantly use two-way audio through network speakers right near the incident. Talk down to the person, "You are trespassing. Please leave the area immediately." Broadcast a warning siren. It often stops things right there before they escalate into damage or theft. It turns surveillance from just recording bad stuff to actively preventing it.
That's a significant shift. Okay, so that's the specialized integration model. High performance, compliant, proactive. But you said there are other approaches. What if you need something more unified?
Right. Not everyone wants to piece things together, even with best-in-class components. Some need a single platform, like an operating system for their entire security setup. That brings us to the unified platforms. And here we see two big players with really different philosophies, Genetec Security Center and Avigilon.
Let's start with Genetec. What's their angle?
Genetec's big selling point is open architecture. They aim to be the central hub that brings everything together. Video, access control, license plate recognition, intercoms, alarms, all in one interface.
So if I already have cameras from, say, 3 different brands.
Genetec's designed for that. It supports hundreds of camera types, including all the key NDAA-compliant ones like Axis, Hanwha, even Avigilon itself. If you have a mix of old and new systems, Genetec is often the glue that can hold it all together.
And they offer more than just security views, right? I heard about operational intelligence.
Yeah, that's another angle. They provide tools that turn security data into business insights. Things like heat maps showing where people congregate in a retail store, or tracking occupancy levels, analyzing traffic flow in a building lobby. It helps optimize operations, not just security.
Okay, sounds powerful, flexible. What's the catch?
Well, that openness and power comes at a price, literally.
Yeah.
Genetec is known for being premium priced, and it's not exactly plug and play. You generally need certified integrators to set it up properly, and it requires significant IT resources on your end.
So maybe not for smaller businesses.
Probably not. It's got a steep learning curve, too. It's really built for large, complex environments. Think airports, city surveillance, university campuses, big corporations, places that need that maximum flexibility and can handle the complexity and cost. Plus, it's traditionally been on-premise or private cloud focused. They're moving more towards the cloud, but it's not inherently cloud native like the first model we discussed.
Okay, so Genetec is the open, flexible, but complex and costly option. What about the other big unified player, Avigilon? They're part of Motorola Solutions now, right?
Correct. And Avigilon takes almost the opposite approach to Genetec. They're all about deep integration, but within their own ecosystem. They're known for very high-quality cameras and tightly integrated analytics.
And their standout feature, appearance search. That sounds almost like science fiction.
It's pretty remarkable, yeah. It's their signature tech. It lets you search for a person or a vehicle across your entire camera network using general descriptions.
So not like facial recognition needing a clear face shot.
No, more like you search for a man wearing a blue jacket and carrying a backpack or a red pickup truck. It uses AI to analyze characteristics, clothing color, vehicle type, even sometimes gait or behavior patterns, and find matches across different cameras, different locations, even if the person's face isn't clear.
How does that work? Is it just looking for blue pixels?
It's more sophisticated than that. It's using deep learning. It learns patterns, associations, and that ties into their self-learning analytics. The system gets better over time at spotting unusual things for that specific location, like someone loitering in a particular area where people normally just pass through, or detecting abnormal crowd movements.
And being a part of Motorola must help with integration.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
get tight integration with Motorola's wider ecosystem. There are two-way radios for instant communication with guards, links to alarm systems, that kind of thing. It creates a very coordinated response capability.
Okay, sounds powerful again. But if Genetec's downside was complexity and cost within an open system, what's the catch with Avigilon's closed approach?
The catch is exactly that. It's largely a proprietary ecosystem. You get this best performance, especially with appearance search, when you use Avigilon cameras, Avigilon software, Avigilon recorders.
Massive vendor lock-in then.
Pretty much. It limits your flexibility to mix and match hardware or shop around for better camera prices down the line. And yes, it's also a premium solution, high costs for the hardware, software licenses, and the significant storage needed for that high-res video. Installation can be complex too, and like Genetec, it's primarily an on-premises solution, though they offer cloud connectivity options.
So choosing between them is really about openness versus optimized proprietary performance, but both are complex, high-end solutions.
Exactly. They cater to a specific segment of the market that needs that level of power and is willing to manage the associated cost and complexity.
Okay, so we've seen the specialized integration and the big unified platforms. What if you need something simpler, easier to manage, maybe across lots of locations?
All right, that brings us to the third category, the cloud-native ecosystems that really prioritize simplicity and ease of deployment. And the big name that often comes up first here is Verkada.
Oh, yes, Verkada. You hear a lot about them. What's their core appeal?
Ease of use. It's their whole mantra. They offer an all-in-one platform, video cameras, Access control readers, environmental sensors, alarms, all managed through one simple web dashboard.
And the setup is easy.
Famously so. It's designed to be plug and play. For an organization with, say, dozens or hundreds of retail stores or small offices, the idea that you could just chip a camera, plug it in, and it connects to the cloud and is ready to go, that's incredibly attractive.
Makes sense for distributed sites. Do they meet the compliance needs we talked about earlier?
They hit the main ones. Their hardware is NDAA compliant, and they have SSE2 Type 2 certification,
Yeah.
which is important for cloud security standards. And their cameras often include deterrence features too, like built-in sirens or speakers, allowing for that live intervention capability.
Okay, sounds convenient, but there's always a but, isn't there? What are the trade-offs with Verkada?
The biggest one, and it's significant, is vendor lock-in, even more so than Avigilon in some ways. Verkada's platform only works with Verkada hardware, cameras, readers, everything.
So if you buy into Verkada, you're completely tied to them for everything. What's the risk there for a big company?
It concentrates risk. If a major security flaw is found in their hardware or software, your entire system is vulnerable and you're totally dependent on Verkada to fix it. You can't just swap out a component for another brand. That lack of flexibility is a non-starter for some organizations, especially in government or critical infrastructure.
And haven't there been some privacy concerns around them in the past?
Yes, that's the other major consideration. They've faced scrutiny over data security practices and the use of facial recognition features. While they've taken steps to address these, it means organizations using Verkada need to be extra careful about their own data handling policies and ensuring ethical use, especially with AI features.
Okay, so Verkada. Simple, scalable, cloud first, but with significant lock-in and requires careful handling around privacy. Is there another player in this cloud-native space?
Yeah, another strong contender is Rhombus systems. They operate on a very similar philosophy to Verkada,
Meaning?
meaning a unified ecosystem, cameras, sensors, access control, all managed centrally through a single cloud dashboard. Focus on simplicity, ease of deployment.
What about their AI features?
Pretty powerful, too. They offer AI-based search, letting you filter footage by face if you choose to enable that and manage the privacy implications, or by license plate, clothing characteristics, or specific detected behaviors.
Compliance-wise?
Similar story to Verkada. They are also NDAA compliant and SOC2 certified, meeting those key requirements.
So what differentiates them, or what are their limitations?
Well, the main limitation is inherent to any primarily cloud-based system, cloud dependence. Rhombus relies heavily on a strong, stable internet connection at each location.
So if the internet goes down.
Your real-time viewing and management capabilities can be severely impacted. The cameras might still record locally for a bit, depending on the model, but the central management and instant alerting relies on that connection. It's a potential single point of failure operationally.
Makes sense. And the privacy aspect.
Same considerations as with Verkada, really. Any platform using advanced AI like facial recognition or detailed behavior analysis puts a greater onus on the organization using it to have rock-solid policies around data privacy, usage, and retention. The tools are powerful, but they demand responsible implementation.
Okay, this has been really insightful. Let's try and tie this all together. We've seen quite a spectrum here.
Definitely. It ranges from, highly specialized, super compliant integrations focused on performance and low hardware count, like the AlphaVision and Axis pairing.
Right, through to the big, powerful, but often complex unified platforms like Genetec focusing on openness and Avigilon focusing on proprietary performance.
Exactly. And then at the other end, you have these streamlined, easy-to-deploy cloud ecosystems like Verkada and Rhombus, built for simplicity and scale, but bringing that vendor lock-in or cloud dependency.
So for you, the listener, what's the core decision-making process here? What's the key takeaway?
I think the choice really boils down to balancing a few key things. It's often flexibility versus ease of deployment. Do you want the ability to pick and choose any hardware, like with Genetec or the integration model, or do you prioritize getting up and running quickly with a simple unified cloud system?
And cost versus features must play a big role too.
Absolutely. Are you looking at high upfront investment for something like Avigilon, or a potentially lower entry cost but ongoing subscription fees with cloud models? And what features are non-negotiable? Do you need that 40x zoom, or is appearance search a must-have? Or is basic, reliable cloud viewing enough?
But underlying all these choices is that constant tension you mentioned at the start.
Yeah, the tension between these incredibly powerful new AI capabilities, searching instantly, detecting policy breaches automatically, and the absolute necessity of sticking to strict data privacy rules and regulatory compliance, like NDAO.
We saw some really concrete examples. AI spotting missing hard hats, magic search, finding a suspect in minutes. What really struck me, though, was the potential for prevention.
You mean like the live intervention?
Exactly. Using the system not just to see what happened, but to step in via audio or alerts and potentially stop something bad before it happens. That feels like a real evolution in surveillance.
It is, but it also brings us to maybe the most critical question for organizations implementing these systems today.
Which is?
Well, think about the power of features like appearance search or automated license plate recognition combined with the strict legal and ethical need for data privacy and compliance. It leads to this challenge for you, the listener. How far should we let the automation go in policing compliance or searching for people before the human element must intervene to ensure it's being used ethically and legally?
Where is that line?
Exactly. Where is that line, and how do you draw it clearly in your organization's policies and procedures? That's the tightrope everyone is walking right now.
A really powerful thought to end on. Thank you. That was a fantastic deep dive into a complex landscape. Hopefully this gives you listening the clarity needed to evaluate these different approaches. Definitely check out the sources in your library for more technical details on these 5 platforms.
Thanks for having me.